They've conquered dungeons, changed lives, saved countless worlds. They've been your companions on every adventure. They're your dice, and it's time they get a seat at the table. We've journeyed onto Kickstarter 8 times before, and you, the gaming community, have always rallied to the call. Now, we venture out again, but this time, your stalwart dice are leading us into the unknown. So come, join us. Together, we're about to create Reliquaries. So I've got a lot of dice, right? Like any good RPG player, but I don't have an awesome place to display them, right? They live in this nice little vault or a bag or whatever, but I don't have a cool place to put them. So that was the thing we wanted to do with Reliquaries. Like, let's give everybody an awesome place to display their beautiful dice.
When this idea was first brought up, what was your initial reaction?
Well, now that I'm feeling good about it, I don't mind saying, I was kind of like, what?
I'm honestly quite nervous about it because it's a new idea. We're making it as cool as we possibly can, but because it's new territory, we just don't know.
If you're not going into territory that makes you nervous, then you're not innovating.
The tenacity and the kind of drive to make something unique, that's the part that I always keep coming back to in my head.
It's designed by gamers, so you're always thinking about how it's going to sit on the table, how it's going to be interacted with by the players.
And we're doing some categories that are things that we haven't touched on. I like horror stuff, cosmic horror, abomination, creepy looking stuff. So I'm gonna be doing some pieces in that category. I'm looking forward to those.
One of my kind of secret tasks is definitely to make sure all this stuff is awesome as terrain, in addition to being, a reliquary for your dice.
Brainstorming for Reliquaries was just absolutely insane. Suggestions were just coming at us left and right. We knew we had to pare them down to fit into a small Kickstarter. We focused on the ones that inspired each of us as artists.
Dwarven, a collection of imposing statues carved by the hands of master masons.
Elemental, magical sculpts full of kinetic energy.
Elven, the elegant architecture of majestic civilization.
Artificer, a collection of fantastical arcane contraptions.
Eldritch, a collection of gorgeously twisted monstrosities.
Once we had our 5 themes locked, then we had the fun challenge of turning these dreams into actual reality.
This one is the mold for the hero piece of this collection. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to sit here and struggle because I'm on camera.
Hand sculpting is and always has been the backbone of Dwarven Forge terrain. We've started incorporating some new sculpting techniques to assist in the production process in different ways. With the wings that I sculpted for the Radiant Horror, each wing needed to be different, and each wing needed to be highly detailed. And it was a lot easier to sculpt one wing and then modify that sculpt for each individual wing.
After each sculpt was finished, we cast a prototype in-house, then gave it to paint team, and they had to figure out how are they going to make these things come alive and look amazing on the table.
I think this challenge is common to every Dwarven Forge Kickstarter, designing a scheme that's going to be cool and impactful, and then making it doable in mass production.
We had to consider how the paint schemes would look with a variety of dice and really complement a variety of dice.
That's one of the more exciting things, is getting to see these dull gray or brown sculpts getting turned into this living color.
Tobi was really laser focused on one really crucial part of this project.
I had to come up with inserts that will be able to hold the dice in the reliquaries in different interesting positions. All the different sets of dice out there, all the different sizes and stuff like that, and trying to make a few as possible pieces to be able to hold all of that has been a fun challenge.
So after months of teamwork, these ideas finally materialized into 16 amazing pieces.
The 3 main types of sculpts in each family break down to the throne, which generally wraps around the die from behind to kind of frame it. The pedestal, which holds them aloft, which is a great way to show off something like a minis as well as die. I'm a big fan of those. And then the hero, which is really the centerpiece of each family. It's a much larger, more detailed sculpt that embodies the idea behind each of these families.
I think the unsung hero of Reliquaries is the ability tracker. It's good in multiples, it works in your dungeon, and it's got style.
It also pairs with 2 items. There's the ability plaque, which makes it signify those abilities like rage, inspiration, and spell level if you'd like. There's also a life dial. So for things like Magic the Gathering, it goes from 1 to 20 on side A, and then side B has 21 to 40.
And one of the best things is we're casting all these Reliquaries in our own Dwarvenite, so they're basically indestructible.
I got a bird at home, and it's nice to know that if he flies and bumps into this thing, it's not gonna break. I mean, bird might, but at least the reliquary would be okay.
We had all these sculpts, but we needed a cool way to display them, to transport them, to give them a home. So we needed a base. We were talking to our friends at Talon & Claw at the time and said, wait a second, why don't we have you guys do something in wood? And that started a whole rabbit hole.
We went through so many iterations because we didn't want a wood base. We wanted the best wooden base possible.
One thing that was very clear to us from the beginning of the project was that we wanted LEDs inside of the heroes, but we didn't want just the same LED, we wanted very unique LEDs per hero. And then Tobi realized that the batteries we typically use were going to run out after a few hours, so we decided instead to use rechargeable batteries, and on top of that, with both a singular base and the wooden display base, there will be a charging port. So now, all year round, your hero can be lit up on your shelf.
We've done everything we can to make Reliquaries unbelievable, but there's a few things we could do to take it even further if this Kickstarter does well. We don't have a ton of stretch goals planned for this campaign, but the ones we do have are awesome.
For the engravings on the wooden bases, we made a lot of different designs. A lot of different artists came up with them. We did have to narrow them down for the campaign. If they sell really well, then we'll be able to bring back a lot of these designs as engraving options.
We have some additional inserts like a flat die insert and a miniature holder. And we have these special little art pieces we call artifacts.
We thought about artifacts as something that could be an objective if these pieces were used as a terrain, or something that would look like an additional decorative element to complete the piece when there's no dice on it.
These are so thematic and so, energetic and powerful. You just know that this is a center of some sort of power.
So we've done the first leg of the journey, the proof of concept. But now for the next step, we need your help. And that's why we're here on Kickstarter, to see if other people believe in this dream too.
1, 2, 3, 4. Woo! There.
We've done 8 Kickstarters before, and they're always a big event, but this is something new. So we don't just want to have a cool new product for your dice, we wanted to do new things with the Kickstarter itself that make it even more fun and engaging.
So we're going to be streaming on Twitch at least once a day, and the plan is kind of wild. We're going to have informational streams where we'll demo the pieces for you and answer your questions, along with some fun, celebratory streams with some of the coolest creatives in the tabletop world.
Because it was such a passion project of everybody here at the Forge, we're making these sort of behind-the-scenes mini documentaries, from the sculpting to the painting and to all the twists and turns in between.
And just like any of our Dwarven Forge projects, we want to hear from you. You can reach out to us on the forums, on Discord, in the Kickstarter comments.
That's 100% of our day is spent in Kickstarter.
She's in the comments all the time, answering questions, just participating.
Everybody on the outside world that likes our product is also here and engaging and trying to build hype for the entire Kickstarter system.
We have such an amazing collection of fans and backers. I'm very confident that a bunch of our old folks are going to show up and a whole bunch of new folks are going to show up and say, wow, this is a cool thing. We want to make this happen.
People that don't have our terrain or haven't backed our Kickstarters, they can experience it. Maybe they'll see more of the unadulterated artistry of our stuff.
I love gaming. I've been gaming for most of my life, since I was probably 10 or 12 years old. We here at Dwarven Forge, we're all gamers. We love what we do.
Personally, I want to use them in my war games. I'm the resident war gamer. I love themed objectives.
I'm very excited about this Kickstarter because my daughter's a gamer, and I think these are going to make holiday gift giving very easy. I'm really excited to use one as a jewelry display.
I'm just excited to do interesting sculpts in totally different styles.
The sculpts just feel a lot more personal to me because I have so much more creative control.
As a group of geeky artist gamers, we've made something that we're really proud of. We've poured our hearts into this thing, and we've made something that we think is awesome, and that hopefully a bunch of other gamers are going to think is awesome. So we're really excited to share it with you, and hope you will join us on this journey.
There. Give it 3 more seconds. Ooh. Okay. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Woo!
Yeah, that was pretty dope.